Well, first of all, let me thank you, Swan, for all the great work you're doing in the community. Every day I look up, there's Swan Davis and his motto, "Let's make it happen."
Yes, sir.
And I can just tell you personally, just as a great friend of yours, and not just trying to beef you up because I like you a lot.
Right.
I do like you a lot. That's true. But also because I think the work that you're doing is really great. Your name comes up all the time, always in a very positive light. You have a real passion for the community, a real passion for our children who are trying to come up in very difficult and challenging circumstances. And it's great to see a voice and hear a voice and see a face like yours that's out there that truly cares.
Yes, sir.
And children can tell when people care for them.
That's right.
And they'll listen better when people care.
Yes.
And that resonates, I think, with the work that you do, you and others that you lead. With the organization, you've been a big help to me personally in trying to be part of this community in my work as a district court judge. And I'm just happy to be a part of it, to be a part of what you do,
Right.
and want to support what you do just as on a personal level.
Right.
We want to try to keep people from coming to our courtrooms who are committing crimes.
Right,
Whenever people like you can be a great example for them and can steer them in the right direction so that they can understand there are other opportunities. And you're a clear example that that's true. So I'm happy to be a part of that.
You know, one of the greatest challenges that we had this year, I was watching a review on CNN yesterday of the top 10 biggest things happening. And one of the biggest things was involving police interaction with black men. And I even noticed some of those issues rising here in Fayetteville in the courtroom. Seeing several resisting a public officer, kind of a retaliatory to what was happening in other states of, well, where do my rights stand? And I think one of the greatest things that Let's Make It Happen did was the Unity March.
Right.
And it gave the young people the opportunity to actually see law enforcement in a different light, as opposed to just what they see. You know, they get a bad rap sometimes for some bad officers. There are some bad officers that do bad things, but not all officers. And it's teaching our young people how to appropriately as well as effectively interact with law enforcement. So that, like for example, when Chief Medlock was out there with the last march, it just shows them that, hey, they're here to protect and serve, not just to arrest and shoot people.
Right. And you know what's so amazing was, we also did a job fair for ex-offenders, and the police department was the main one wanting to jump in and help sponsor it, because they knew that if we were able to get these individuals more help, that they would be able to be better men and also help support their families.
You've done a tremendous amount of work for the community and have allowed so many of us as public officials and just community volunteers to be able to support you in.
Yeah. And you know what the amazing part was? We had fun, as well as we were able to come together in unity with our youth and finding ways that we can help stop the violence, and just showing the community as a whole that, you know, this is our community and we all are part of it.
Absolutely. I think you all have taken it back to the basics, from the kickball games to the Harvest Festival to the trip to the Lakers game. You've provided a lot of opportunities for us to come together and bond. And this last recent March, congratulations on the success.
Hey, thank you so much. And you know what's funny is now we're going into 2016. I'm really looking forward to doing more events, more getting out into the community and showing them who we are as a whole. And then more than that, just showing them that, you know, again, we're going to put our community first. We're going to find ways to get our youth together, and at the end of the day, we're going to enjoy while we're doing it. So, yeah. Tell me, what was your experience?
I enjoyed everything that I was able to participate in, from the kickball.
Oh yeah.
I think people were surprised that I participated and that any of the other judges participated, but we need to get it out there that we're just human.
That's right.
We're people just like everybody else.
That's right.
We just have a different job description.
That's right.
But I enjoyed myself this year. I'm looking forward to the Lakers game.
Yes.
Who would have known that I could just see Kobe in his last appearance?
Ain't that something?
And that's because Let's Make It Happen Together has done it. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to 2016. I think you've raised the bar, not just for our community, but for other communities that are watching.
I think it's really the core of making it happen. I think it's really what our city is all about. The vision we have in bringing the police department together and the community together with youth together, building relationships, you know. And I think what that does, it diffuses the fear of not knowing, and you know, it takes away the impersonality out of it and make it personable when you build relationships. And as you know, once you begin to deal with an individual, you see that person's heart.
Right.
You know, in other words, you take off the uniform or you take off the hat or the hood, and that person is a human being.
Right.
And so that causes a whole community to become aware that, you know, hey, we're all in this together.
Right.
Let us not fear one another, and let us not fear our differences, but let us celebrate our differences. And so you might have one person with a badge, one person with a suit and tie, and the other person, you know, swagging or whatever, or with a cap on. It doesn't matter. You know, God made us all equal in his eyes. And I love what you're doing, man, with the youth and with the community and the police department.
So I'm a business owner here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, in an advertising agency called 219 Group.
Right.
Was part of the chamber. I am part of the chamber, was on the chamber board, and heard about the project and said, you know, I need to be part of this.
Yes.
I want to look how I'm always looking for great people.
Yes.
So we went out there. I took my office coordinator out there, and we wanted to participate in it. So that's how we got involved in it.
And you know, it was amazing. It was right over 1,000 people that showed up to that event, and to seeing how we was able to help those individuals who may have, you know, had opportunities they didn't have this time to get a second chance in life. And what was your thoughts about that?
Well, first I was blown away.
Yeah,
so we pulled up.
Oh yeah.
And there's this line outside, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Where did all these people come from?
That's right.
So we really didn't expect to see that many people.
Right.
We passed down every piece of literature we had. I passed down every business card we had.
Yeah.
We probably talked to over 300 people.
Yeah.
I was looking for 2 different positions from those 300 people. We probably got it down to about 10 people.
Right.
I interviewed about 5 people.
Yeah.
So I was really overwhelmed at the amount of people that we were able to put.
Yes.
Accolades really need to go to you and to the other individuals associated with your organization for making a difference in the community. A lot of people talk a good game, but they don't provide results. And I will say that you and your folks provide results. You're really getting the kids in the community involved. You're bringing people together. You're working with the police. You're working with universities. You're working with other community groups. You're working with the city. And if Fayetteville really wants to say it's Fayetteville first, then it needs to show that it can make things happen.
Right.
And I think you guys do a great job with that. We have to make sure that we engage young people, that we engage the rest of the community. You know, there's other cities like Fayetteville whose problems are much larger magnitude than ours. So I think we have a launching pad, and we can't let this time pass without making a difference.
Yeah. This thing is not easy, man, and to see the things that you're doing here at Simon Temple and you're doing in the community, it really motivates us and it motivates others to, you know, want to continue to do that. You know?
Well, and that's important, and I thank y'all for allowing us to be a part of you. We support that which we believe in.
Right.
We have for so long had many organizations who had name recognition only, but really didn't impact the community. We want to be able to partner with somebody who we knew was impacting the community, making a change, not just taking away from, but adding to. With the Unity March, nothing is done like that. Everybody's bumping heads going against what's going on, whether it be city government, whether it be police, sheriff, public safety. You decided, and let's make it happen, and all of us came together and said, look, let's walk with them. Let's be able to walk in unity. And that's what the Spirit of God tells us to do, to walk in unity. And feeding the homeless is something we should do, and the festival, coming together and just doing that, getting people off the streets and coming to one common place, it's made an impact. If we don't educate them where we came from, they will be diluted about where we are.
That's right.
And they won't even try to be able to pull the vision of the past, of the future. And we've got to continue to do that, because your son is 11, mine is 12. My daughter's 13, and I know you have a young daughter, and they see the news media side. They see what happens on the street. For them to be able to see what happened in Selma, there's no other way that somebody could bring cinematography together and just put that, unless it was true, to have such impact. It helps our children to be able to say, I saw what happened, I see what's happening, but I can make a choice through education to make it better for myself by making good decisions. So, you know, we've been able to do that as a community, and as this organization has been able to do. It's educating, and it's different when it's our children.
That's right.
And you get the chance to see it through your son. When your son tells you, my son tells you, you're like, oh, you know. So it's powerful. It's powerful.
And then, you know what, to see that we are part of the game changing.
That's right.
You know, what we do today really makes a difference, and our youth and our kids are looking up to us. And again, you know, I really appreciate the things you did personally, you know, because we talked many times late at night, and you walked me through some things that helped me, guide me, so that as a leader with my organization, with the community, I was able to do a lot, and I really appreciate you. And going into 2016, I look forward to doing some more things with you, man, and making this thing happen together.
Well, the best is yet to come. You have our full support, and anybody who's watching this, if you're not participating in Let's Make It Happen Together, you need to not only sow your time, but sow your seed and your finances, because it makes a difference. We invest in so many things that are frivolous that mean nothing. Invest in somebody and something. I believe in Brother Swan Davis. I believe in Let's Make It Happen Together. I believe in our community. Yes. But we've got to learn how to walk together in unity and make sure that we sow resources that can help us do even greater things for the year. So I'm proud of you, and godly proud of you, and I ask, if anything you need of us, let us know, because the community is behind you.
Hey, thanks again, Pastor.
Thank you.
God bless you, man.
Thank you. Bless you.
Yes.